What's good? What's good? What's good? Myself, J.Hall. This guy right here, DJ Akademiks.
What's happening, homie? Trying to get my mic all situated. get everything situated.
Yeah, man. It is the first hip hop major show 2019. How you feel?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
You said why?
I said wow.
Oh,
Wow.
okay. I'm about to say we was on vacation.
Mm.
Well, how was your
I
holidays?
didn't say why. I said wow.
I ain't know.
Oh,
I
okay.
ain't know. How was your holidays?
My holidays was great, man. Spent time with the family. All the kids was happy. That's all that mattered.
Was this the first Christmas in the house?
Yeah, in the new house. Yes. First,
Okay.
This year's first everything. I just moved there in June, so yeah. I had the first 4th of July, first Thanksgiving, first Christmas, first New Year's.
How was the Christmas?
Christmas was great.
Did you guys have like 30 plus people
Nah, I ain't
come
do all
on
that
like you
for
did
Christmas.
Thanksgiving?
I didn't do it for Christmas. I started to, and I thought about it, and I was like, nah, we're just going to lay back. We're just going to lay back Christmas.
Okay.
Don't lay back Christmas. I ain't feeding a whole bunch of people for Christmas.
Big old tree and all that good stuff?
We had a decent-sized tree. I really wasn't one for the big tree thing. I mean, my other half got something to say about that, so we'll probably get a big one next year. So
Oh, she doesn't like the whole you not getting a big tree thing or not
she
being
wanted
into
one,
it?
and I was like, bruh, if you don't just get a tree, these kids don't care about that, yeah? These kids care about what's under the tree, not the size of the tree. Nobody cares. And that's just how that was my argument.
You like Offset talking to Cardi, bruh.
Like, bruh, like, come on,
Merry Christmas, bruh.
Nobody cares.
Nah.
But at the end of the day, next year we'll probably have a big tree. I promise.
Okay. Did you guys do anything for New Year's?
Chill, I was at home. I stayed home with the family. Brought it in with the kids. My mom was in town, so I had it with her too.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. My mother has been in town since Thanksgiving, and she's getting ready to get leave. And it dawned on me that this was the longest time I spent with my mother, literally since I left off to college.
Mm-hmm. As an adult.
As an adult in life, period. Yeah. It's the longest I've ever had.
Did you realize you could never live with your mother again?
Honestly, no, that's not, but I did realize how much, well, I mean, to be totally transparent, I got a studio.
Oh, okay.
So it's weird because I didn't realize how much I favor solitude.
Oh, okay.
Because I have what is called an extrovert. I have an introvert-extrovert personality.
And what the hell does that mean?
So, extrovert mean people who like to be out. You understand? They like the public. Introvert people who like to be in more to themselves.
Okay.
So I'm extrovert, introvert.
So how are you extrovert, introvert?
Because I'm one of those people that I appear to be extrovert. Because when you and I go out, whatever, I can be social and I can, move in between people and how to move and all that good stuff.
You want to be social when you're out, but when you're home, you want to be alone.
Yeah, but I only can do that when I'm prepared for it.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of times, right. So a lot of
Gotta
times
be in the mood.
when I come home, especially when my mother was first there, I was forgetting that she was there. So I was coming home.
Walking around with your drawers.
No. I'm talking about like when I walk in the door. Like when I come home from like work, long day.
Oh, okay.
I come in, I'm just, mentally.
Oh, bro, where you come from?
Almost, yeah. You know what I mean? Because when you walk in, you see my couch past the kitchen. You like, oh, bam. You know what I mean?
Grab a pistol.
Right. And then, so, it's like you got
Saturday night special.
You got to like speak to a person. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I don't want to be rude. So it's like, hey, hi. But,
that's right. You is here. My bad.
Right.
Damn, I ain't even know. I forgot all about you.
Right.
Shit.
I
I brought you home something to eat. I ain't even know.
But what's so crazy is,
Did you cook since you're here?
My mother kind of, right, did you?
Did you cook anything since you're here? I mean, since
look at the pot like, wait, how could be nothing made?
I don't smell nothing. No.
Hey.
If I'd have smelled something, I'd have known you were here.
Right. But luckily, my mother also is that kind of individual also. So, like, maybe the first couple times I came in and I felt the need to, like, speak. But after a while, it's kind of like, you here. So.
All right, I know you here.
Right. So I'll go in, and the way my apartment is set up, my closet and my bathroom's connected.
Yeah,
so
you gotta walk through the closet to get to the bathroom.
Exactly. So if you close my closet, I've been using that kind of like as my space, because I'm one of those people, I need like a good 60 minutes when I come in to myself. Even if I don't know how it's going to work out if I get married, because I need that solitude. Like I need to go somewhere and be to myself.
You're going to have to get you a big house with a cave. You need a man cave.
I am. I need that space.
My man cave is under construction right now.
Right. To collect myself. And so I would go in to the side and just kind of go to the left. And first I was concerned about being rude, but man, my old bird, man, she a G, man. She be like, once she got to that cable box, You know what I mean? She started watching Game of Thrones.
Hit that on demand.
Right.
Started binging.
Netflix specials and everything, watching, Luke Cage and all that good stuff, man. My mother wasn't paying me no mind, bro.
She forgot you was there.
Yeah, man. I mean, it almost took it back to how I was coming up because my mother wasn't never like the babying type. Mm-hmm. Even though I'm her only son, she was never the type that's going to be like, oh, mama's baby. Like, she ain't never had time for that. And so that's not really her personality anyway. To be like, are you hungry, baby? Everything good? Like, she's not that type of mother, So after a while, it just kind of was in sync. So to answer your question, of course, as an adult, you want to live on your own, but it's not as hard as it appeared, you know what I mean? As far as like living, having your mom there. And plus, man, at this age, I done the things I've done. I live my life. I've already proven I can be on my own. At this point, man, having the people that you love close to you, you actually want to take it for what it's worth, because when you live, in different states, man, from the people you love, you don't know if you're gonna see them again. To be 100 with you, and those are kind of thoughts I be thinking about sometimes, because sometimes my brain would go like, man, my mother's getting older, you know what I mean, and I know I should not be thinking those kind of things, but I just can't help it because I'm always thinking ahead, and sometimes I gotta know how to live in the present. So it's good to sometimes have my mom there to kind of be like, oh, man, So I'm not even annoyed. I'm not ready for her, And I'm actually taking the time to actually feel a little bit about myself, to feel like, I'm glad that my mom got a spot that she can come out here and chill to. Because there was a time some years ago when I was going through some financial crisis, man, I had no place for my mom to come visit. I was on somebody else's couch. I'm going to invite my mom over, you know what I'm saying, on somebody else's couch. So I'm actually kind of glad that she's able to come there and do that. You know what I mean? And then, when I step out, I'm out, But she didn't watch Madtv, though. I can tell you that right now. She didn't caught up on everything. She didn't caught up on the Avengers, everything.
Seasons.
Dog. She didn't watch seasons of stuff. Like, she's chilling. You know what I'm saying? Because my mother's not working right now, so she got, like, time. You know what I mean?
You got time.
Man, she got a little iPod. She'll even pause something and then Google what it means. When she watching. Oh, dog, like when she watching Game of Thrones, she'll pause it. Google what they talking about.
I've never watched Game of Thrones a day.
Oh man, it's a hell of a show, bro. But it is an addiction piece. It is an addiction piece, bro.
Well, I'm gonna leave that crack alone.
Yeah. I advise you to. At this point, don't even do it. Right now, I'm gonna ride it out. So man,
right now, you gonna ride that wave.
I'm gonna ride that wave,
see
man.
Where that tidal wave takes you.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So yeah, it was cool, man. My New Year's, whatever. But I'm not really a holiday person anyway, man. I kind of gotta find things to kind of counter. I think people underestimate. I'm one of those people who, unfortunately, I suffer from holiday depression. So I have to find, like, good things. Like, I got to kind of, like, disconnect off social media because I be, like, hypersensitive to, like, phoniness. Like, corn. Like, sometimes I just be seeing corny to me, man. I don't want to sound like a Grinch. Just be seeing corny to me, bro. Because it be like, when certain people's stories, like
they like a whole separate person online.
Yeah.
They like ain't got nothing together, but they want to be a philosopher
right,
on the gram.
Right.
Like,
and there was
this inspirational quotes like, "You're lazy though."
Oh, right.
You're the laziest person I know. But
2019 gonna be my year. You said that 2011.
You got these motivational quotes.
Yes.
But you're the laziest person I know.
Yes. You know what I mean? All these fake proposals, man, and you got 6 or 7 side chicks. It's like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I have to disconnect from like the fakeness of a lot of things.
Well, there was a real marriage. I mean,
well, I knew a lot of people also too. There was this new thing that was happening. I don't know if you was paying attention, man, where people wanted to showcase their baby on Christmas Day. So your baby was born, for example, like 3 weeks ago or like a month ago, but you're going to present him on Christmas like he a Jesus baby.
I didn't catch that.
So it was like a hashtag Jesus babies that was going on out there, and it was just like, come on, son. Like
this is your gift.
Yeah, it's like, man, your baby was born in October.
That like ugly.
Yeah. So it's just
he ain't too cute.
So I mean, I realize these are issues I have to deal with for myself. I'm transparent and understand enough to know these are things I have to deal with for myself. But during the holiday, man, I have to like disconnect because I find myself a little bit more hypersensitive to things than I normally. Usually, I can just switch on up. Yeah, man. But when I see that kind of stuff, I'm like, ugh, it's just some garble to me, man. But I'm all good with it. Did you set some 2019 goals?
Of course, I always set goals. I'm setting goals all the time. But to go back to backtrack to the question I asked you.
What?
About living with your mother.
What about
living with my mother? I definitely figured out I couldn't. I could never do it again.
Oh, so you can't live with your mother?
No, I can't do it.
Oh, okay. Why?
I just can't do it again. No, I couldn't go back there. I couldn't do that.
So what? Okay, so what reminded you when your mother came to visit? What reminded you to be like, nah?
What reminded me to be like, nah, is because when I'm home, I just like to lay back because I'm always on the go. My personality is always on display. And when I go home, kind of like similar, I won't say to the extent of you, but I like kind of put my personality and I go sit it somewhere and it's gone.
Right.
And I don't want to be there. I just want to chill and lay back. And sometimes I play when I play. I just do what I want when I want.
Okay.
And I'm not always want to be asked questions. Like, I don't know. Last 2018, I dealt with a lot of stuff. So maybe it's kind of depression. I had those type of things that I dealt with too. Lost my father and all that stuff. So really don't want to be asked the questions.
You can't really breeze past that the way you said it.
Yeah. Just breeze right past that. And that's how I do.
I got you. But
that's how I do.
Go ahead.
And I don't want to be asked questions. And I know she's trying to be there, but I don't really want you to be there.
Was she asking you questions because she was someone who had like known all the things you went through, so she wanted to make sure you was doing okay? Or was she ask you regular questions like, are you hungry? Like ask you, are you hungry like 3-4 times?
No, ask me, is I'm okay? What's going on? I mean, how am I feeling? Like this, that, and the third. Like, I don't know. I'm a person who just deals with my own stuff on my own.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not a therapy type of guy. I'm not an open type of guy when it comes to emotional things or things that will probably really, really disturb me and bother me. So I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
And I don't know that stuff.
You know, it's not healthy though, right?
It's not. But I just channel it into energy.
But you don't want to talk to it. You definitely didn't want to talk to it in that talk about the situation in that moment with your mother.
No, I didn't. Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely didn't. So, and I just like to walk around my drawers, do what I want. I don't know.
And you just can't do that with your mom.
I just gotta be free. Like this is my castle, my kingdom.
Okay.
That's all.
Was she like intruding?
No, not at all. But at the same time, I just
your face! Your face was
at the same time.
Yeah, think about this. My mother I'm talking about, so let me.
I just want to be free. I just want to be free in the house. So that's all it is.
Nah, I'm with you. Like living with, I'm being 100. It's not necessarily my mother. I'm understanding that me living with someone, whether it be my mother, wife, girlfriend, or whatever, that is something that I am pretty much so going to have to like deal with as a challenge, even if it's kids.
Yeah.
You understand? So I know I have to work on that, but maybe I'm also dealing with the possibility I might not be that kind of person.
Yeah. And another thing, the thing that probably is one of the biggest things, when in my house is, of course, it's my house, my rules.
Okay.
And I don't like to be questioned.
What do you mean? Like, give me an example.
With the why. Well, can you just or ask the second or third time?
Like asking you what a bathroom is or something?
No, like, can I do this? Or why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? I don't want to. Well, other people do this and this, that, and the third. I don't care what other people do. Like, I don't.
That's a mom, bro.
I know, but it's like you can't say that. But it's like that's just how I feel.
So what you
like
do?
when other people, anybody will know, try to compare the way you run your household to somebody else's.
Right.
I have said that though. I was like, I think you mistake me for somebody who really cares how anybody else runs their house. Because I don't care. I don't care what anybody thinks about how my house runs. I don't care how they run their household, but I'm gonna run mine the way I want to.
Okay. How did she receive that?
She received it because it was at a point where I just had to put it. I just had to say it because that was just different things. But yeah, it was. I was like, look, this is the way it got. I don't want to do. We're not doing that. Well, why can't you just for the kids do it like? No, we're not doing that, Mom. No, we're not doing that, Mom.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, I just think it feels as though. Understand? But no, we're not doing that.
Yeah. Making that transition from parent to consultant may be difficult.
Yeah, because she used to growing up and her telling me, and now it's just like, what? This you're in my house now.
Right. Yeah.
That's kind of that little.
When I hear stories like that,
space.
I realize I've been, I don't want to say fortunate, but I realize how different my circumstances were because my old bird was she a lot more distant than that.
Yeah.
She like, yeah.
Well, yeah.
But sometimes I've been wanting my mom to kind of like give me some wisdom. My mom be like, no, that's on you.
Well, not maybe because I'm set in stone.
What you mean?
I'm just already setting my ways as far as like how I'll go. You don't have kids or family and stuff like that. You don't have that yet. So I'm already setting in stone like my template of how this, because a family is basically a machine.
Okay.
It's basically like your company.
The way it moves.
It's like your business. The way it moves, the way it operates. Yeah, it's your own operation.
Okay.
I'm setting in stone the way my operation runs. And it's not changing for nobody.
You target.
Yeah.
You target. Target, the store. Target.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well,
like Target has been the same since it ain't nothing changed.
Yeah, whatever you want to eat.
These are the lines.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? You know where to go for the groceries. You know where to go for the toothpaste. You know what the electronics are.
Yeah.
This is how, don't come in Target telling Target that you need to be like, that's the store that we both, Walmart.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't come in Target telling me about Walmart.
Right.
Or Sam's Club or BJ's. I don't care.
You're not interested.
I don't care. It doesn't make
the
me no
marquee on the wall says smiles.
Yeah, that's exactly. I built this house brick by brick, and it's gonna go down the way it's gonna go down.
Okay.
I don't care. So don't give me a reference from somewhere else.
Now, has she always been like that, or was it because of the house? Like, you got a new house, new circumstances.
It has nothing to do with the house. I mean, I ran my operation the way I
No,
run
I'm saying,
it.
has she always been that kind of person to be giving you, kind of always saying that kind of stuff, or is it because of the newness that's been happening that happened the past year?
I don't know, because, I guess it's different because my mom's away now, so she moved away. So this is like she comes back in town, she stays with me. So she's never had to stay with me because she's always lived in the same time. So my mother's never stayed in the house with me since I've been an adult for overnight, because she's always had her own house that's not far away.
But y'all still been close though, as far as living.
Yeah.
And she moved away like how long ago?
I moved in July,
She moved in July?
Yeah, moved to Oklahoma.
That's what it is, bro. This is her first time. See, me and my mom, we've been like damn near going on half my life.
Yeah.
Being a part. So she's not used to it. It hasn't even been a year.
And I don't like, and that's just me. I'm just particular. Like, I'm just funny with certain things. I don't know. I'm just funny.
You are.
I'm just funny with certain things. I don't like opinions. I don't like opinions. Like certain things I don't want nobody's opinion on. So don't give it to me. It's going to irritate me.
It's nice. Note it.
It's just certain things. Like I don't want nobody's opinion on it. Don't question it. Don't ask me. Don't suggest anything, because it's just.
And this is you're not saying it. And as you walk through your life, for clarification, you talking about like once you step inside your house, right?
Correct.
Okay, cool.
Correct.
I don't want nobody thinking that you can't have no opinion. Like you like the Eagles.
I'm not.
Somebody else like the Cowboys. You like look. I don't like your opinion.
No. It's not like that. It's just certain things, certain areas.
Okay.
I don't want an opinion. I don't want your opinion. I don't want your input. I don't want anything.
This is how I run my house.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
And that's it. And that's just me. And I don't care to see any other point of view, and I don't care to think of anything.
You just
different.
gotta give her some time, bro. She hasn't been away. You just gotta give her some time. I think she'll get more used to it as the visit starts coming. She's staying with you a little bit more.
That doesn't just go for my mom. That goes for family, friends, anybody.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying. Your mother, she only been gone since July. Hasn't even been a year, man.
Yeah, that was just one thing. I mean, don't get me wrong, she did it, but I love her mother. And the time was great.
We all love our folks.
Just a couple of isolated incidents. I'm like, yeah, this ain't gonna work.
Yeah, we all love our folks.
Yeah, this ain't gonna work.
With me, man, it gives me more of a concern because I forget like how free my mom is.
Mm-hmm.
So like, there was sometimes I came home, my mom wasn't even there. You know what I'm saying? Because my mother the type of person that, once she know where to go, she out.
Mm-hmm.
And then, she will just have random conversations with anyone and be like in the city. Like in the city of Washington, D.C. I stay in the city.
Yeah,
she be downtown like, yeah, I was talking to somebody. I was walking around for like 4 hours. I'm like, who is this person? Who are you talking to?
You stab, rape, kill, murder?
Right.
Sit down somewhere, woman.
And literally everyone she come across, she telling them she ain't from, yeah, I don't live here. I'm here visiting. Like, stop telling people anything. Like, I've gotten so isolated and used to the East Coast living, I'm forward. I go inside the store, I walk out. You understand?
Yeah.
I go catch
and
the
then
train.
You do the transition from son to father.
That's right.
And that's what my mother calls me father.
Dude, it's the same thing. So with her, when her and I, like, for example, if we are at the store and we getting something and she's having a good 2-minute conversation with the cashier. Every little thing is, I don't live here. So, I don't know. I'm down in Alabama and, and I was in Georgia, for a year and da-da-da. And then, in South Carolina. And I'm like, yo, this person really just want to know if it's going to be cash or credit. That's all they want to know. You understand? Yeah. And she's like, well, I didn't tell them everything. I'm like, you told them enough.
So you really got to, it's crazy, that transition from son to father.
Yeah. And then, like I said, I called and I'm like, yo, where you at, yo? She like, oh, well, or she don't answer the phone. You know, and then she'll be like, well, I caught the, I went out to this place called Tyson's Corner. I'm like, what?
Virginia?
Yes, yo, yes. You know, and it's almost like she's doing it just to prove to you that she still got it and she can still do things on her own because she's a wanderer. But like I said, bro, it's a scary thing, but we love our family, you know, and I try to look at it more like I'm glad that I was able to have that time. I'm pretty sure you looked at it like you was glad to be able to provide that house.
Yeah, my mother she don't do the wandering thing, but I mean, she was in Baltimore, so she knows what she was doing.
Man, my mom gone now.
But she what she did do was she went out going out there and staying, because she's staying with my sister now, is going out there and work and then save money or whatever. So she comes with this bright idea. She wants to take the kids to Disney World. Like, what?
Just all the kids to Disney World.
Yeah, like you going out there to save money, not find new ways to spend it just because you don't have the overhead. Like no. Well, my job is taking me there, so I'm staying in a hotel. They're paying for my hotel, but they're not paying for 4 kids to go to Disney World.
And if your job is sending you out there, that's money.
That's a $5,000 to $10,000 trip. Like, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
We're not doing that. Because for one thing, I can't afford to go to Disney World right now. And I'll be damned if you take my kids to Disney World for the first time and I'm not there. So that's dead.
Oh, so the kids have never been to Disney World yet?
No, my kids have not been to Disney World yet.
Oh, but she wanted to be the first one to do it, right?
That's dead.
You're not going to do it? You're not going to let her crack and cherry? Can I say that?
In this context, yes.
Okay, cool. I'm saying you're not gonna...
In this it's all context.
Crack the Mickey cherry.
yeah, but no, if anybody's gonna crack that cherry, it's gonna be me.
Okay.
But we're not saying that can happen. We can do that, but it's just not right now. Not right now.
Okay.
And then you want to do a rebuttal argument, and I'm like, no.
Then you just have to say no.
Yes, no. I told you. You're out there to save money.
Yo,
not to find creative ways to spend it because you're not. I can still do it. I'll tell you what. You can save a little bit more if you didn't do this.
So
that's the son to father transition we were just talking about.
Do you have a compromise, you and her, with that, or is it just a settle? Just no.
No, I just got to put my foot down. I just got to bang the gavel.
Has she had any ideas that you're cool with?
And I get this from my mom too, because I'm the same way. If you leave the door cracked a little bit, I'm gonna keep trying to sneak in.
Oh, and so because you're aware that's how she is, you're aware where you got that personality trait from.
Yes.
You have to close the door completely.
Any chance is enough chance.
Okay, got you.
So you got to shut the door.
Got you.
Lock it. You can't even just shut it. You got to slam the door and lock it and put deadbolts on and everything for them to just get it. All right, it's done.
Well, at least your mother actually is going to have that kind of conversation with you.
Yeah.
So shout out to Mama Akademiks on that, because Mama Hall just going to go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if I do have kids and Mama Hall wanted to take the kids to Disney World, I would probably come home and everybody be gone. Cause that just,
I would raise hell.
I would. Listen, I would raise hell, right? But that doesn't negate the fact that it'd be gone. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
You can't raise hell until she get back.
Right. Like
unless you go hop on a plane.
And thank you, because I'm going to take that wisdom as the son from father transition. But one thing that has to be understood: my mother ain't scared of me. Right? Like
no, my mother's not scared of me.
Yeah, my mother ain't scared, but I'm still low key scared of her. So that's the difference. So you ain't scared of your mother. I'm still low key scared of her. Because I still don't know.
Wrong. The tone I'm talking to you in right now is a little different.
Oh, it's a little different.
It's a little different. I'm not yelling at my mother or basing on my mother. I'm just kind of telling them, like, look, Ma, no, I'm just not doing it. It's a subtle, soft, but firm tone. Like, I'm not saying, look, Ma, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not mixed or I'm not none of that.
I'm with you on that because, like, my mother keeps making foods that I
definitely
don't.
No disrespect tolerated from my
right.
mother. I'm not.
My mother keeps making foods low key that I'm trying to stay away from because I do my top of the year cleanse.
Oh, she's just trying to be the devil's
she
advocate.
keeps making cornbread like every 4 or 5 days,
devil's
bro.
Advocate.
But I don't want to like. So what I had to do was I had to like tell her politely, like, hey, I had to kind of keep saying it, like, on the 15th. Because first I always do, like, my tradition's always been the 5th. I give myself a couple days, and then I do the 5th. So on the 5th is the time where, I usually start my cleanse and, I do my little restart or whatever. But it's kind of hard, man, when you come home, there's like a brick of cornbread sitting on top of the oven.
He said a brick.
You know what I'm saying? And it got that little crack.
Mama got that weight.
And it's been glistening. It's been glistening, you know what I mean? And it's like, I don't want to tell her no, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Or, you know, if she makes some cupcakes, you know, I don't want to tell my mother no, because I've been low-key creaming for these cupcakes for all year, you know. But it's like, yo, the holiday is over. You still making them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you still making this cornbread that I love so much. So what I had to do, I had to, like, continuously kind of go around the apartment, kind of just be like, yeah, you know, 15th is going to start my cleanse. 15th, you know, the 15th. And what happened was finally she was just like, hey, you know, you want to have some more such and such? Because I know you said the 15th is when to go down. I was like, thank you. She's getting it. And I was able to, you know, kind of feel like, not feel guilty, you know what I mean? Because the last thing I wanted to do was make my mother feel like she shouldn't, you know what I'm saying, cook around the house or nothing like that, you know. So yeah, man, you know, that's what I'm, you know, I'm glad that she's there, but those are kind of things like you were saying that you kind of just be like, when they're in your space and you're used to running your, one thing I would do agree with you, when your lifestyle is run like a well-oiled machine, and then someone else comes in and you have to kind of like
you throw it all off.
Yeah, you have to consider them, right? And then when there's a loved one, it's like, man, it's a delicate balance.
They feel like they can just.
Yeah, man. So, you know,
well, this is my son. I can say this. I can do this.
He likes cornbread. Here's the brick.
I'm just going to do it.
Doesn't matter. His waistline is expanding. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, you know, but it's all good though. It's all good though, man. We love. Are you a believer? You know, to wrap up this whole holiday like recap, are you a believer in like resolutions and stuff like that for the new year and stuff like that?
I mean, I don't believe in the fact that you should just become this great person just because of 3 lines, 1/1. I mean,
okay,
I don't believe in that, but I do believe in I do believe in using that calendar as a graph and let you know to break down, and just basically as a data to show your progress.
Okay, yeah, I'm actually starting to. Last year was my first time actually doing monthly and weekly goals and all of that.
Yeah,
because I kind of just used to just work. I'll come up with some things I'm aiming for.
I like to do short-term goals too.
And then do it. Yeah, you know. But
short-term
I'm actually
goals that lead to long-term.
So
goals.
I've actually put into practice the art of like writing things down.
Mm-hmm.
So this is my first year, and I'm not afraid to admit of me writing out an entire year of stuff. And so I actually went through the entire year, and I have to be careful because my anxiety tends to kick in. Because when I get too far ahead, I'm starting to think about, well, I should already been doing this 4 years ago. So I had to do a delicate balance. So a friend of mine,
I feel like that regardless. There's no curing that.
It's some ways that you help to cope, is what I would say. And a friend gave me certain things to cope.
Cope and cure is 2 separate words.
This is true. So I'm with you on it. I don't know if I ever be rid of it.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Two totally opposites.
But
not total opposites. It's like halfway opposite.
Yeah, but one technique a friend told me was like, yo, don't put so much pressure. What you do is put certain things down that you want to get done by a certain time, but the rest of them make like a separate list, right? And don't put no time on it. But what you can do is, she was like, you know, go back and check up on it monthly. And I was like, okay, that's not so bad. Because if I put down I want something done by June, Ninja by next Thursday, I'm going to start panicking about it. Because that's just how my brain works. Like, June going to be around the corner. And it's only January, you know? So, you know, this is my first year. I'm going to try out this whole spectrum, man. You know, me and you talked about things we want to, you know, have for the show, and we're going to put together. So, you know, hopefully it be on that. So, you know, that's all good. So we've been going for a minute. It's a lot to get into. So, you know, first thing, let's give a shout out to Jules Santana.
Yeah, finally go. Everybody said he wasn't going to do it.
But he did.
He was just engaging because he was scared of jail and all this stuff.
They were just ratting on him. I mean, getting on him real hard about proposing on the wrong ring. I mean, wrong finger, wrong hand, right?
Talking about fake teeth and all that stuff.
Yeah, you know. But he got it done. You know, Cameron and everybody was there to support. Jim Jones there to support Freaky Zeke. You know, the whole Dipset. It was good that they were able to come together for that, for their man's moment. And Cam is the only one that's married there, right? Out of Dipset?
Cam? Right?
I mean, I'm sorry, not Cam, Jules. Jules is the only one.
Yeah.
Jules the only one that's married, right?
I mean, Jim been proposed to and he still ain't married.
Yeah.
How'd you do that? How'd you get that one?
I mean,
he got a good like Harlem shake. I don't know.
I mean, at this point, I ain't gonna lie to you. I always looked at them as married. At this point, you've been together for that long.
If you ain't married, you ain't married, man. Jim got the meanest Harlem shake I ever seen, man. It's Harlem for real. Like.
That might be something, boy. That might be something. Well, shout out to him because
shaking that one for a minute.
I mean, maybe it should be a book about it.
Yeah,
the art of it, right?
Teach me, brother.
The art of it. I'm pretty sure there's some people that's probably following that blueprint. I'm pretty sure there's some people, man.
The real Harlem Shake by Jim Jones.
I'm always looking at it like I thought they were married. Him and Chris were married. To be 100 with you, and to somebody remind me, they like, no, they're not. And I'm like, because I just keep thinking I missed it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you think you missed it?
Yeah, I keep thinking I missed it.
Because you just assume it's happened by now.
Bro,
somehow, some way, he been shaking.
I'm one of those people that when you've been with somebody that long, that's just how I look at it. Mentally for myself, but I understand that the world doesn't necessarily go the way my train of thought is.
New York has that common law thing like L.A. do.
No,
like
or Virginia. Virginia has that law. Yeah, it has that common law. Yeah, Virginia has that. Where if you've been with someone for so long, then they just legally consider you married, right? That's how that go, correct?
Yeah.
So, yeah, well.
It's crazy.
Shout out to him, man. Shout out to Jules because he's about to.
I'm telling you, a woman wrote that law.
Maybe.
A woman definitely wrote that law and proposed it.
I don't know, bro, because when you think about it, a man probably wrote that because he wanted to make sure it was mine is mine. Especially back in that era. You know what I'm saying? She mine. She mine, bro. She ain't yours. She mine.
They did look at women as property. Well, it depends on how old that law is.
Yeah, well, anything in Virginia is probably years old. So, yeah, we're going to go with that.
You know what I mean? They make laws every day.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so it could have, if the law is less than 60, 70 years old, 50, 60 years old, a woman made it.
Either way it go, those laws right there didn't apply to New York. Because technically,
it's
Jules...
definitely only like 20, 30 40 years old.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely a woman made
Jules,
it. If it was made in the 70s, it's definitely written by a woman.
Well...
70s, 80s, oh, yeah.
It didn't help Kim Bella. So, that's for sure.
That's because it ain't in New York. I'm just saying...
Yeah.
I'm talking about the person who originally wrote this law.
You think it was a woman?
For the first state that put it into play?
You think it was a woman?
Had to be. If the law was written post 1960,
you think it was a woman?
Definitely.
About as far as if you've been with somebody for so long, you might as well you're technically married.
The common law marriage.
Common law marriage. You think that was written by a woman?
If it was written post 1960. Post 1960, 70-ish.
Oh, man.
I say anything after 1965, it was written by a woman.
Marriage.
Anything after 1960, 65.
I'm doing my Googles right now.
You doing that right now?
Marriage.
I'm willing to bet on that.
History.
Put 100 pennies up on it right now.
Hold on, let me see. I'm trying to skip.
Here we go.
It started in Australia first.
And what year was this?
Hold on. It said as far as being in legislation. Australia came up with the term, but I'm trying to see where is in America. I got Western Australia.
We can go with Australia. We can go with Australia.
Canada. No, I mean I'm trying to like keep it here. It's giving me a whole bunch of other. Maybe I should have been a little bit more literal when I was typing in. Maybe I was being too broad because I just typed in common law marriage and then hold on, United States common law marriage, United States. Let me see. When was it? Jesus Christ, man.
U.S. Common Law Marriage Act.
I'm trying to, yeah. Well, let me just see. Let me see. When did common law marriage start in United States?
Who wrote the bill?
Yeah.
If it was at the 1960, I want to know who wrote. I definitely is a woman wrote the bill.
Whoa. Yo, so the first thing that pops up, and somebody who's checking this out, they can kind of check this out later on. It says that, according to NOLA.com, this is NOLA.com? No. Well, the first thing that pops up, it says that in Colorado in 1985, the intentions of forming a common law marriage.
Definitely.
Then moved to California in 1995.
It was definitely a woman.
Colorado and California, we be recognized with a common law marriage as valid.
I got a hot $20 on that right now. That's the woman that wrote that bill. See me. Taking all bets.
Yeah, well.
85? Oh, no.
Well, I ain't going to dig into as far as who wrote it, but it did say 85, so.
85? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Someone was like, oh, no, they not just going to leave me and just give me nothing.
Or maybe, or maybe it was a man who wrote the law whose wife was in his ear.
No.
You saying straight up.
Ain't no man writing that. Ain't no man writing that.
Yeah, I don't know, bro.
Ain't no man writing that.
I don't know.
Ain't no man writing that.
I don't know.
And only man in the world that would probably write that law is Oprah's ex-boyfriend.
Ex-boyfriend. She's still with her. You talking about Stedman?
No, I'm talking about her ex-boyfriend, the one we don't even know about no more.
Oh, you think he?
The one we ain't never even heard about. That's the only man in the world that's gonna write that one.
He's in the ex-boyfriend Hall of Fame with like the guy who went to prom with Beyonce, the guy who went to prom with Janet Jackson. All them brothers got a club together about what they, I had her back when. It was like, it doesn't matter when you had her. Like,
with Ray J. They sang that Ray J song to death. I hit it first.
Yeah, they dancing around. Yeah, those gentlemen. Got you. Totally got you.
Yeah. That's the only man in the world that probably wrote that joint.
Well, isn't Jules, correct me if I'm wrong, isn't he's about to get sent up state, right? I mean, he's about to go to jail, right?
I mean, he could. He's facing. That's the legal term, facing.
He's facing some time, right?
Yeah, he's facing some time.
Listen, people were saying he was doing it for this reason, doing it for that. Man, listen, congratulations to the brother. Him and Camilla.
You gotta be married to have a conjugal visit, bro.
You do. We talked about that. You have to be married to have a conjugal visit. Excuse me, my throat tripping. You do have to be married for that. So, and he got kids, man. He probably wanted to get the legal stuff in order. And so what? If it took them this long to get to that point, so what? Congratulations to him. Also, your boy 50 Cent, he scored the victory. You want to talk about that?
Oh, yeah. I'll let you go ahead and say your part first. I got some funny Instagram
50 Cent scored the victory because Tierra Marie, she had filed a revenge porn lawsuit against him, but the court threw it out. And now she has to pay him $30,000 to cover his legal fees. Now, originally 50 Cent wanted her to cover over $100,000 in legal fees. So she's lucky that she only has to pay him $30,000.
And 50 being 50.
Now, hold on. If you don't remember, go ahead. Early this year, Tierra Marie had a video clip that went viral, and I guess allegedly an ex-boyfriend had put it up on a...
Yeah, I think 50 reposted it or something.
Yeah, well, everybody was reposting it, but he
targeted 50.
He put up a video of her giving fellatio and, saying daddy and taking a money shot, and 50 Cent, his argument in court was he just took it off the internet like everybody else, and so she targeted him. But now she got to pay him $30,000. She even hired Lisa Bloom, who's that famous... woman attorney who goes for women's rights a lot, and she still lost.
She goes for money. She goes for big, high-profile money.
Well, she lost, bro.
Yeah.
She lost.
You got to be quicker than that. You got to be quicker than that.
King Petty 50 Cent wasted no time putting that up on IG.
Yeah, he put it up and said, now you can go ahead and pay up that money, or you can go with R.Kelly and shit in the bucket.
Oh, snap, yo. What?
Yeah, he definitely said that. He said, now you can go pay, you can pay up, or you can go with R. Kelly and shit in the bucket.
Well, she gonna have to pay.
She's too old for R. Kelly now. 50, come on now. She passed that age.
That's true.
Tierra Marie like 30 years old now.
That's true. That's true.
If not, she pushing it.
Yeah. Well, that happened. You know what I'm saying? That definitely happened. So now you have that situation where you sue somebody, you got to pay them. So I don't know how that works out legally, whether or not you can make an appeal. You can appeal that when you were the person who filed a lawsuit. I'm not sure how that happened, so I don't want to misspeak, and say something incorrect. But as of right now, 50 won that. So King Petty 50 wins again. We know 50 can sneeze out $30,000.
Yeah, of course, man just bought. In a 2-week span, he bought a Rolls Royce truck, a Ferrari, a Lamborghini. What else he buy? He bought like 6 cars in like a 2-week span. Like, it was ridiculous. It was sickening.
Yeah.
And then he was pouring champagne on it. He said, "This what a rich ninja do when he bored. He just poured champagne on his car and started wiping it down. I'm washing my car."
Re-energizing himself out there in the universe. Yeah, King Petty. If you wonder what some of these...
Said he just waiting for DJ Envy's car show.
Listen, the next time some of you want to criticize these young boys for being foolish on IG and talking they money talk, you might want to check yourself, because 50 Cent has birthed all of them sons. Okay? He's the daddy that's been doing all of that. Also, the only new music that I saw coming out, unless you can correct me, was Roc-A-Fella got one called the Turn Up Gods Tour. As far as I seen somebody that we both will recognize. And I think this is Roc-A-Fella. I think he's on record saying this is his last one. Like, he pretty much feel like he's retiring. He's too old for hip-hop.
He's too old for hip-hop. Waka's not even old.
He's not. He's just in his 30s, and he's not. But I have an issue with people who like to say that they're done with hip-hop when hip-hop probably was already done with you. Like, if you were grown...
He was mostly doing a lot of EDM stuff.
Yeah. Like, or Not only with that, but there's other things you can do in hip hop besides performing. Hip hop is a culture. Like you and your wife and the things that you guys do, that's a part of hip hop itself. You understand? So maybe you can't be jumping up and down on stage and jumping into the crowd and stuff like you used to, because now, you know, your bones are hurting. But there's other things you can do. I think T.I. kind of showed us the way that there are other things you can do in hip hop. Jay-Z, you get these examples. Yeah, but you can't be the wild boy Waka-Flocka like where you was back in 09.
Yeah.
You know, so shout out to him. Now we got to take a little turn. And we can't avoid the unavoidable.
The elephant.
Yeah, the elephant that's in the room. We tried to give you a little softness, whatever, but we had to get to the core.
Yeah.
The 6-part documentary had premiered.
Marie wasn't in.
Yeah, she wasn't in. The 6-part documentary that had aired over break was the Surviving R.Kelly doc that was on Lifetime.
It was 6 parts, so I missed more than I thought.
It was 6 parts. It was 6 parts.
I seen 1, 3, and 4, so I haven't seen 2, 5, and 6 then.
So I watched.
Or maybe I seen 3, 4, and 5, and I haven't seen 2 and 6.
So I watched all of them. And first of all, the timing of it being shown was perfect because it came out during the break, and there's nothing that has been on TV. Everybody had already watched Bird Box. Everybody had already watched Bander, whatever the Black Mirror movie was. I can't remember.
The story behind it coming out like it did, they said, because it was supposed to come out like one every week over like a couple months span.
Oh, really?
But supposedly R.Kelly had already got wind of it, and he was trying to get it canceled and get a
I didn't know that.
And he was trying to get a cease and desist on it.
Really?
So, with that being said, they just rolled it all out.
Oh.
In 1 week, and that's why they put it all out so fast, because they were going to do it weekly. And that was the original plan, because R. Kelly was pushing to get it all canceled. They just threw it all out there for everybody.
I'm going to be honest with you, bro. So I watched the entire thing in the row that it was coming. I would have probably preferred for it to be weekly. It was intense to watch it all together the way I watched it. That was like intense.
Bang, bang,
yeah,
bang, bang.
Because it was like you watch one, and then you're going back to social media, you're seeing what people are watching, and I was supposed to be disconnected, but I wasn't disconnected because then I'm seeing what people are saying, and you're going back and forth, and it was like, man, for a good 72 and a half hours of my life was so much R. Kellyism. And so much that it was hard to kind of. So we're gonna try to pick this apart.
Well, before we get into
much
it,
as we
what do you think about when people say R. Kelly being a pedophile was public knowledge 30 years ago? TV just told you to hate him, and saying that we're mentally enslaved because now it's a big outrage. But we all knew this for the past 20, 30 years since the 90s. Since the writing was on the wall when he married Aaliyah and she was 15. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, if we've known this since then, and there have been numerous accounts of him doing other things that have seen the light, maybe have not been like front page news because they were quote unquote minority girls. So
what's your question?
Us just being mentally enslaved. What do you think of, what do you have to say to that?
I had an issue with that. About people saying mentally enslaved. And I'm gonna try to answer your question as accurate as possible to what you're saying. So first of all, I had an issue with the whole, to break it down, I had an issue with the whole why now thing. Mm-hmm. People like, why now? We've been knew this about R. Kelly. Okay, so the doc itself doesn't just tell you news that you don't know. It also tells you like the how and the why, because we might have knew, but we didn't. There was a lot of mystique when it came to the Aaliyah situation. We knew it, but a lot of people didn't know the details of how that went down. For example, here's a detail that happened. There was one gentleman inside R. Kelly's camp who actually forged Aaliyah's signature and put down that she was 18. So if you're asking yourself, how are they legally able to get away with that? Because somebody lied, right? Mm-hmm. And an adult had lied on the minor, right? And also, it also breaks down the psychology because it's real.
He's been issued an arrest warrant too.
Okay, we'll touch on that. It also showcases you the psychology because a lot of times in life, we're very headline. We don't read articles. We don't go into details. We see headlines. So when we see things like R. Kelly had this underage girl or R. Kelly had a sex cult and all that, the first thing we go on and we're attacking the headline and we're just like, there's no way R. Kelly can have me, as if you're a woman, or you're like, there's no way R. Kelly can have my daughter, blah, 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 blah. So this doc
Meanwhile, he had somebody's daughter in Baltimore. But
right.
Okay.
This doc breaks down the psychology and the details exactly what happened. And we've never really heard from the victims themselves. We never really actually had conversations with the victims. We never really, because R. Kelly, Aaliyah, rest in peace to her, she's never said a word of any of this. When her and R. Kelly split, they split, and they both have never spoken of each other.
Timbaland and Missy,
and that was it. Like, she's never spoken on that. You understand? So we never heard Aaliyah's side. We never heard any other victim side.
If she was alive and was a part of that documentary,
man, we don't even want to touch on that. So as far as it being a mental enslaved, I think people need to check themselves, and they need to recognize that when you are stating there's a mental enslaved and you are advocating that, then you are mental of patriarchy. You are mentally enslaved in patriarchy, and you are mentally enslaved inside sexism, because you are adding to the issue that black women have to literally scream to the top of their lungs to be recognized. If you sit there and you tell me that this street is in Baltimore, like this main street, and you're saying to me, give me a main street in Baltimore everybody know about.
Martin Luther King Boulevard.
Say that again?
MLK.
MLK Boulevard. And you've been telling me MLK Boulevard is right here. MLK Boulevard, it goes down to MLK Boulevard, right?
Uh-huh.
Then on Tuesday, I show up at MLK Boulevard, and I'm like, man, it goes down. It went down today at MLK Boulevard.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean that it went down just that Tuesday when I showed up, or has it always been going down?
It's always been going down.
It's always been going down, right? But it doesn't mean that it's only been going down because I'm paying attention to it. We just, as a society, we wasn't paying attention to it. We wasn't caring what people had to say. I'm one of those individuals as a kid. I'm even from Detroit. My sister went to school with Aaliyah. She went to school with her, Detroit School of Performing Arts. Mm-hmm. Aaliyah, I'm going to give you Aaliyah was a part of the first class of that school. That school was new. My sister went there, my god sister went there 1 year afterwards. So we all were hearing stories of R.Kelly literally coming up to the school. All right, coming up to the school, waiting on Aaliyah to come in and all that other stuff, and going up there and picking her up. People who knew her, right? Fast forward, I'm at Howard. Everybody who knew somebody from Chicago heard that same story, whether you went to Howard or you went to another school with someone from Chicago who told that same story about R. Kelly hanging out at the high school. Everybody was like, yo, he was hanging out at the high school, and he'll get his guys to go get a girl, boom, boom, boom. This was like a common thing. Yet, me, myself, personally, I was still playing his music. I was still rocking with it. And it took for me the sex tape, when it was going around and it went, we wasn't calling it viral back then, but when it was everybody's email and things of that nature and everybody's laptop when I was in my
on laptop. That was on VHS.
VHSs and stuff like that in your dorm. That's when for me it became a no. But I will go on record and say it honestly shouldn't took for me or for it to get to that level of that. So to answer, I hope I answered your question. As far as the mental, are we mentally enslaved in that? I would tell anybody to check themselves on that.
Now I'll quote Tank. He has something to say on that as well. He said before he claims himself mentally enslaved, maybe it's the big money record companies that were paying so much money and pushing so much and smothering all the information that aren't protecting him now, and the fact that we knew about it, it was rumors, but now we have the confirmation. So, I mean, Tank had a lot of words to say about it. Why he had basically similar to what you were saying, but he had a lot to say about before he claims himself mentally enslaved. He'll blame the record company and all his enablers that went through, because in order for him to be not in jail and go so far and do what he was doing, he had to have a lot of help, and he had a fortress built around him to keep him able to do it. And because he was making so many people so much money, they did it.
One thing I think people fail to realize in all the discussions and going back and forth is the money. People are failing to really mention the money. R.Kelly was making a lot of people a lot of money.
He was the biggest cash cow in the business.
And when you're making someone...
From writing, producing, and then performing his own records.
When you're making people a lot of money, okay, you are a person of value, okay? And when you become a person of value... you are not easily to be replaced. People do not like to have their money messed up, and people will do a lot to cover up your demons when you are making them a lot of cash cow. And Kells is making a lot of people money. He got a well-oiled machine around him. But here's the sad part about it. It also goes to show you that as a society, if you give someone that much freedom and that much privilege, how they can operate. Because he didn't operate like that off the jump. He wasn't R. Kelly like that, from the jump making that much money or who he is now. So it also speaks to culturally what everybody was accepting around as like, oh, when you think about age ain't nothing but a number. That song is about a young girl coming on to an older man. Now, when I was younger, I ain't going to say when I was younger, even this past summer, that song means something to me because that's the first video Aaliyah filmed in Detroit. at Belle Isle Park. And so for us, it was all like, yo, she's repping home. And whenever I heard that song, even when I hear that song now, I feel sentimental but I'm thinking about the whole spectrum of where I'm from versus the song itself is about you being a young girl propositioning yourself for this older man, because he was trying to make it seem as if
she was coming on to him.
She's coming on to him. And it plays into that stereotype of young black girls being over-sexualized and being the ones that's coming on to the man and act like the man is the victim and he just can't help himself.
She had on baggy clothes in the whole video. She never had sexual appeal. I mean, she looked good. We all knew she was beautiful, but she was never put in that light there.
She was
so young.
Yeah, exactly. And so I don't know if you saw.
Like said Foxy Brown.
Well, I was gonna get on that, but did you catch the part real quick where his brother was talking about preference? They were talking to two of his brothers, and one brother that was in jail.
Maybe that. I seen different. They brought him in a lot throughout the whole thing.
So one brother that was in jail was like, and I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing because it's like the tip of my emotions. He was like, I don't see the issue. I mean, I came up. I like older men. I mean, I like older women. He's like, I like older women. My brother like younger women. What's the problem? It's just a preference. It's a preference. What's the big deal? Like, these dudes are saying this stuff in our faces, yo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What part stood out to you? Because you didn't see all
with younger
of it.
women, but you need to get them at least to they're mature enough, at least like 21, 22. I mean, so if you like young, I mean, get a senior in college or something. I mean, it don't got to be like a senior in high school. I mean, at least let them be of age so they can make mature decisions on what they want to do with themselves and how they handle themselves. And they actually kind of know, not to say college students know who they are, but they got more of a grip on it than a senior in college has a lot more of a grip on who they are than a senior in high school. I'll tell you that right now.
I mean, absolutely. And how about the fact that you have a particular type that you keep going for? You keep going for these particular type of girls that
you're not as impressionable at 21, 22 as you are at 16, 17.
And
that's just a fact.
And all of them, one thing they were speaking about was the amount of control that he was putting in. Like, he had a thing about control where a girl, he'll make you go pee, like you mentioned earlier, like make you go pee and make you go do this.
Where he sent 50 Cent Tierra Maria go shit.
But that was because that's what Kels was doing in the doc. According to the victims,
they didn't apply. They wouldn't eat for a couple days and stuff like that. All types of crazy stuff. They were on different sides of the house, and they would probably text each other to meet me at this house. I'm gonna ask, can I use the bathroom, and you meet me here.
Right. Did you think there's any truth to the fact that there's being reported that he's having panic attacks?
I bet he is. You know, them boys on him. And you see the memes with the Bill Cosby calling him from jail. Like,
yo.
It's like,
the internet is undefeated again, yo.
Bill Cosby like, yo, Kels, hey, they buzzing around here about you. And Kels is like, go on with that bullshit, Bill.
Right.
Like, no,
yo.
really. They waiting for you, bro.
Yo. What do you think to people that were defending R.Kelly? Like, what do you, like, you know, the people that were like, you know, y'all trying to, what do you think to that whole, what you asked me about mental enslavement and they trying to bring a black man down and a why now and why aren't you, you know, like Cameron was putting up photos of Hugh Hefner and, you know, and everybody reaching for these other white individuals who have done that, like the Steven Tylers and them of the world and, you know, who have been with young women. What do you think there's some truth to that, or they are coming down targeting him because he's a black person?
I mean, they are. But I think he's a easier target because he's a black. But I say bring them all to the table. Bring Hugh Hefner to the table. Bring his skeletons to the closet. Those playgirls that he had at 15 and 16 that was in his back room to get that front spreadsheet. I mean, bring them to the table. Bring the king, or the so-called king.
Elvis. You speaking about Elvis because Elvis, when he met his wife, she was 14. He groomed her for like a couple years before he actually married her.
16.
Yeah.
Bring them all to the table. Bring them all to the table. They want to talk about Mike. They want to talk about Bill. They want to talk about R.Kelly. That's wrong. They're wrong. But let's have everybody be wrong.
But I think people are missing that they are bringing in other people, and again, when you're not looking towards the light of something because you're not paying attention.
It ain't no 6-part document about Elvis. It ain't no 6-part document about
I seen docs about Elvis.
What's the guy in the movie? The movie guy? The guy they call God in the movie industry? The Me Too guy.
Harvey Weinstein.
Harvey Weinstein.
But he's in court now dealing with his issues.
Okay. But I'll give Harvey this. He was with women. He was with grown women. So
but he was raping women and things of that nature, and it took a tweet to go viral for the attention to go towards Harvey. I mean, late is, if you rape one person, you rape too many.
Correct.
And if you did it years ago versus you did it yesterday, it's still a crime. My thing is that there is light. I do think there is light being brought. I think the reason why people feel like there's more being brought on black is because we're black and we're going to see the black people that we feel like is coming down on them. But there have been mad white people ever since the Me Too movement has rise up in time. There's been mad white people who've been fired. I mean, you think about the guy from who was the director of the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. I mean, they brought out some old tweets of his, and he's done. Like, you know what I'm saying?
What I'm saying, I'm not against people who are sticking up for his music, but I don't think you can protect R. Kelly personally, though. As a person, no, you got.
I think you can make an exception when it comes to Kelly and his music. I don't think you can make that exception because his music is so tied into sexuality. And you now, when you hear some of the background stories of some of them songs, like, I don't know if you caught that one part of the doc, because I know you said you didn't catch them all, but that one woman said that he wrote "You Are Not Alone" because the 14-year-old girl had lost her baby that was pregnant by him, and that's what he wrote "You Are Not Alone" for Michael Jackson. You know, or that one girl said he wrote "Feeling on Your Booty" because of her. And like, some of these, the history of his songs were to these young girls. Like, now I'm hearing the song "Seems Like You're Ready" and I'm thinking about it like.
Yeah, but you can't erase when you first heard a song and where you were at in that time and period, because a lot of times we connect music with a place not in R. Kelly's life, but a place we were in our life. Like, when I first heard that song and what this song did to me and what clubs I went to back then and what girls I used to mess with back then and what car I was driving.
I just told you what age, but age ain't number the number did for me.
Exactly.
It made me think about back home.
So you can't erase those things. So you can defend him as, all right, he's a musical genius, his music is great. That's correct. Yes. Do I still think he should be held accountable for everything he does? Absolutely. Put him in jail. Do what you got to do. Hang him. But I mean, the music that's already been out, that we've already danced to, we've already stepped to, and we attach certain memories to it, you can't cheat yourself.
So do you think
now you're punishing yourself?
So do you think that? Well, I mean, it might be some truth to that, and the fact that when you're playing his music and you're playing, now that we actually have a little bit more knowledge of things, right? Yeah. And when you play something off streams,
you don't have to worry about the new music. I mean,
but I'm saying, but even if you play the old music and you play streams, all that goes to him, and in a way, that's still supporting him in that sense. So when you think about the
You're supporting his talent,
but supporting his talent is supporting him. Those funds that he is getting from his talent, as we see, he's paying people to do his evils.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's hard for me, for R. Kelly himself. Now, mind you, my brother, I thought I was someone who was a hypocrite if I say I'm not going to listen to R. Kelly.
R. Kelly will never be broke.
No, but I'm saying
there's nothing we can do. We can boycott R. Kelly you want. He doesn't have to make another dollar from this day forward, and he is set for life. I will tell you that right now.
Right, but my thing is that I felt I once upon a time thought that I was a hypocrite if I didn't listen to R. Kelly, because I had to ask myself, then what did I say about some of these rappers who've been dogging women, shooting up baby mamas in their songs? I'm talking about for myself. I felt like that. But I feel like R. Kelly might be that one person, man, who's pushed me to that threshold of being like, because listen, when you start telling me I shouldn't listen to Thriller, I get chills, okay? Because I still listen to Thriller every once in a while. But I do think we got to start asking ourselves. I'm one of the
ones on the fences that I don't think Mike did it. But anyway.
No, I'm not even saying that. That's what I'm not even trying to go there, because I still think that Mike's situation might be different from R. Kelly. I think R. Kelly, time and time again, has been in our face talking about he's the Pied Piper and you know all this other stuff. Dude, the dude hit on a girl on his way to the court. While you're being accused of having sex with a minor, you're hitting on minors and winking at them on your way to the court. That's like a drug dealer going to court, smoking weed on his way to the court. Like, I don't know no dope boy.
And he left with her, too. He left with
her. Come on, bro. And there are pictures of him outside the courtroom with her, bro. Like, come on, man. Like, Kels has done stuff in our face, I think, time and time again that has shown us, like, hey, man, I'm out here.
Say what money does.
Right. I'm out here.
Money and music does.
I think he might be that person. I'm saying, if you can't think about nobody else in your argument about that, I think he might be that person where we can't separate. He literally might be that person.
He just said back in May on the documentary, they did put that on there, back in May, he was like, they should have did this 30 years ago. I'm untouchable now. They can't do nothing about it. He just said, he just basically told everybody, you're too late. You're too late. And he was just in the club in Chicago, sold it out.
For his birthday.
Yeah. after all 6 of them have already been out and hit the fan.
Yeah.
This is after all of it. A couple days after, so everybody's going crazy with social media, so you would assume a guy like that would go into hiding. No, he throws a big birthday bash in the middle of Chicago.
But I don't think that's
V75, and not only all women are there, they're screaming, "Take me hostage."
But bro,
they're screaming, "Take me hostage." They want to be the next one.
But see, I think that was overhyped because I don't think that's hard to do. I think you can still gather people around and have them in your room because he's R.Kelly. Like you said, at the end of the day, somebody gonna still come. You mentioned something earlier that I'm going to transition into about the whole Foxy Brown situation. Now, just earlier, and we're going to touch on that, but Dame Dash had came out with his interview that he did when he was talking about how Jay-Z working with R.Kelly on both Best of Both Worlds is where he knew Roc-A-Fella was at his end, because a lot of us, if you didn't know and you might have forgotten, Dame Dash was with Aaliyah when she passed away, and because of his relationship with Aaliyah and he loved her, he did not want to work with R.Kelly at all, and he said that the Best of Both Worlds, both albums, are the one time where his name is not on there and not on that. But he was dancing in the video on Fiesta. He said, Dame is saying, "Yo, I was in the video, but I still didn't want no pictures with dude. I wasn't in that. I wasn't in none of that." You know what I mean? That's what he's saying. He's like, "I was over here," and he said Aaliyah always told him to leave that situation alone. And with that being said, do we go back and we look at all the people that work with Jay, even though they knew what they did? Because, look, you would think that the Aaliyah situation was enough, right? But then you had the first Best of Both Worlds when Jay and R.Kelly got together, and the tape dropped when they dropped the album, so that was why they couldn't finish that. Then they came back and tried to do another Best of Both Worlds 2 years later. And then
you got Unfinished Business was the name of the song.
Unfinished Business
was the name of it.
But they also had a song
called Not Guilty.
Not Guilty, when you rewind, on Hov's album, right? That was on the Roc-A-Fella imprint. Do we now look at these?
Hov, that was at the Hov had the stabbing incident when he stabbed Un. And Kelly, I didn't even, when that song came out, I just took it as Hov talking about his thing, and he just happened to have
I did too. I didn't even think about Kelly, unfortunately. I didn't think about Kelly.
I didn't think about Kelly's situation. I actually just thought about Hov because he was fresh off the stabbing On, and then he had all the lawsuits and stuff that he was fighting.
But Kels was being accused of stuff even then.
Me, but I'm not guilty.
And saying I'm not guilty, right? Because at that time, he was trying to be charged. So when you think about everybody that has worked with him later on, like you think about the Tanks, Lady Gaga had recently put out a statement saying she's going to remove the song that she did with Kel from her streaming service. Amarion had put up that after this tour, with the Millennial Tour with him and B2K, he's no longer going to perform the songs that R. Kelly had wrote for him and things of that nature. What do we do when we think about the people that have worked with him, knowing his knowledge?
There probably won't be another tour.
No.
You probably never had the opportunity to sing those songs unless you go to Vegas. But anyway, where you were going with that, funny question.
I'm saying let's answer that
Cannon, I know.
Okay.
Nick Cannon did an interview with Dame Dash. Would you think Hov would grant an interview and actually be open enough to answer the questions about that and how he felt and why he did that, being so close to Dame and being so close to Aaliyah? Because as soon as Aaliyah passed, he did the Missing You record.
Yep.
And so he definitely had a relationship with Aaliyah.
Well, that's what Dame said. Dame said she was not only was she his girl, but she was Hov's friend.
Yeah, so how did he feel? What made him do that? And being in his friendship with Aaliyah. And I remember vividly, because it happened in Baltimore, the Unfinished Business tour.
Okay. What happened in Baltimore?
It happened in Baltimore. They were supposed to do they were on that Unfinished Business tour, the second wave of them, and they came to Baltimore, and that was when the infamous Tata slapped R. Kelly.
That was in Baltimore?
Yes.
I didn't know that. Okay,
that
go
happened
ahead.
in Baltimore. That happened in Baltimore. The infamous Tata slapped R. Kelly. They got the beefing. I wonder what happened on there. I mean, if Hov would be interested, and who would he let? Because he ain't just gonna answer the question from anybody. So, and anybody just ain't gonna get an interview. But so, who gets to answer that question? And is Hov's gonna honestly answer them?
Well, not to get too far off, but who's brave enough to even ask Hov that to his face? A lot of people, if they're gonna sit down with Hov, they're not gonna ask that. If you do get opportunity to sit down with Hov is probably gonna tell people don't ask him no questions about that, or someone's gonna be too shook because he's Hov to really ask. I mean, we would ask him that.
Charlamagne, Angie.
No. Scratch all that. Scratch all that. We would, but
I'm saying, what's the opportunity of him actually coming to us?
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying the people that can actually have that opportunity.
Yeah, and I think that's some accountability in that too.
Elliot, Sway. I mean,
but no,
Angie,
who's really
whoever.
going to? But who's really going to ask Hov that question? Definitely with the knowledge. And I think a lot of stars. I think a lot of celebs.
I would ask.
Yeah, we would. We ain't got nothing to lose. But there are a lot of people who's not going to be. They didn't want to be on that doc, for example, because they had something to lose. There are a lot of people who don't want to answer those questions because they got something to lose. And I think that also speaks to this era. So to the people who feel like, oh, well, you're just not bringing this stuff up. That's why social media has now brought a lot of things to light that people have been screaming for years. And now celebrities, quote unquote celebrities, got to be accountable for certain stuff, or you just not going to do interviews at all, to be honest with you, like at all. Because like you said, it raises the question that we didn't ask years ago, but now we can ask that. Now people feel like they got the range to ask that question. Like, okay, so why did you make an album with him knowing what you knowing?
Two.
You know, you made 2 albums knowing what you knowing. You know, why did such and such make records with him knowing what you know? And now to certain artists who were coming up in the game, like Nick Cannon, you're right. He made a valid point. I saw that interview when he was saying he was on Jive. So a lot of times when you came up through Jive, and R.Kelly was signed to Jive at the time, if he wrote a song for you,
he did.
That
he wrote
was
Gigolo.
That was your way of getting in. Like you had no choice in that. Or
and they was in the video.
There's
together
always
too.
a choice, but you had no industry choice.
Were in the video together,
right? But
Gigolo,
exactly, it was a horrible song. But I think R. Kelly's situation speaks to a larger issue, in that. And to these artists who did work with him, knowing what they know, and radio personalities that you and I know that have worked with him. Like, I remember there was a radio mentor of mine who literally argued with me in the gym because I had brought up about the R. Kelly situation. This was like, man, 9, 10 years ago. You know, I'm a little fish in the game. And I'm talking about, like, working with R. Kelly. Me and him talking about somebody else. I'm like, yo, but we going back and forth, and I finally said, yo, would you leave R. Kelly with your kid? He was beating around the bush like, I wouldn't leave nobody with my kid, this and this. And he started hitting me with the, I'm not God, so I can't judge, and Jesus forgave, so you should forgive. He started hitting me with all of that. And he was going hard defending R. Kelly. He didn't even know the dude. Mm-hmm. He didn't even know dude. He just knew people that knew him. And that's how hard he was going. And then he buckled down getting at me on some like, well, you just don't know. You young. You young in this game, and when you get more into this radio or you more in the media, you're going to have a relationship. Everybody not perfect. You know, if you're going to scratch out R. Kelly, you're going to have to scratch out everybody you listen to, and this, and this, and this, and this. But there was an outright defense for this dude, yo, and there was no reason for it. There were people who even wasn't making money off R. Kelly that was defending this dude so hard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
he was untouchable.
Like what was that? You know? But when you think about to what Dame was saying about what you said earlier about Fox, I got a little sample of the Nick Cannon and the Dame interview, like right here.
What age was Foxy Brown signed? I wasn't paying attention to Foxy Brown. But I didn't sign Foxy Brown. I know you putting me in that. Asking the question. I'm on the block. I'm responsible for everybody. You the boss. Yo, don't beat around the bush. Say what you want to say. What do you mean by that question? I was just asking. What are you insinuating? I'm not insinuating. I just asked the question. I thought Foxy was like 16. That's all I'm saying. It sounds like all I'm saying is in this industry when we live in these glass houses. It seems like you got a question for Jay. Y'all keep asking me questions y'all want to ask him because he ain't here. Ask him. I ain't got shit to do with that, and I don't even know nothing about that. You my man. I know not with me.
So real quick, I just want to ask on the side note, because I was having this argument with somebody in my chat room. They were, and this ain't me, and I ain't no coward, but I'm just stating, was that a bitch move for Dame to bring up Jay name in that? Now I didn't see none of it. I thought it was crazy for Nick to kind of insinuate something, but was that kind of a side snitch move on Dame's part? Because I didn't look at it like that. But I was looking at people online, and a lot of people were like, man, he brought up Jay's name. That's like a side snitch move.
I mean, it is. I mean, it's saying I ain't had nothing to do with that, so you need to talk to the person that did. So he kind of, I mean, he's throwing them in there, but he's just also saying there's no way to answer that question without, because they were so entwined and they were so close partners, there's no way for Dame to really talk about a business acquisition or move or anything that would not have, he would have to mention Jay.
That's how I looked at it. I'm like, he has to mention
J.Hall name, because those were the 3 heads. J.Hall and
Biggs.
Dame. I mean, Biggs and Dame.
Yeah.
Right there. I keep saying Harv. That's Bad Boy.
That's Bad Boy,
yeah,
right.
But Yeah, Jay Biggs and Dame, they were the three heads. Like everything shaked and moved came through them two. They had to all be in agreement on something before it went. I mean, I'm sure it's certain things that just somebody just went Maverick with. Jay may have went Maverick with this. Hove may have went. Dame may have went Maverick with this and just pulled the trigger. And Biggs, I'm sure, did the same thing.
I mean, I had an issue with people online that on 1 week, and this is where people be talking about the fake outrage. In 1 week, you talking about Dame and you praising him because he's bringing up Jay-Z about not working with him with best of both worlds, right? And you're praising him when he say Jay's name then. Then you're mad at him for bringing up Jay's name when he said about the Foxy Brown situation.
There's so much business intertwined. He can't do an interview and tell
without
you history
without saying Jay's name.
Everything he did,
right,
from 1994 on, had to do with Jay.
And in any form or fashion, you would look at more like that being a bitch move. Not saying I'm saying it, but that being a bitch move more like for Nick Cannon to ask that when you probably, if you felt that there was a relationship involved with him and Foxy, then that is a question you should ask Jay. That is not a question if you're going to ask like Dame in that sense or expect a Dame. You're going to get a Dame answer, and that's what you got. Because I never looked at it as Foxy Brown and Jay-Z being a couple. Like, I didn't look at it like that. Now, I ain't going to lie. When I was younger,
I thought Foxy Brown was a lot older.
I thought Foxy was definitely a lot older.
The way she was marketed and the way she was put out there. Or the way her rollout was.
I thought her and Lil' Kim was the same age.
Yeah, she was rolled out as a grown woman. I mean, Kim wasn't too much older than her. Kim was
but
only
Kim was grown.
Kim was only like 18, 19. Barely.
20. She was in her early 20s. Her and Big is like the same age, bro. Kim was a few years older than Foxy, but to your point, they were making them on the platform as if they were even.
Yeah, she was rolled out as a woman.
Yeah, and they wasn't even. Foxy was like 17 when Ain't No drop. So if you're asking questions like that, I think that still speaks more to the industry and what we were allowing to do. What we were all, like you said, they were trying to market Aaliyah with her wearing the big clothes. You know, you really kind of didn't know her age in that sense, you know, when it came to that. So my final question to wrap up the R. Kelly situation, what do you see happening with this doc that had dropped? Do you see R. Kelly himself going to jail, or do you see other people who start going to come down the pipeline? Because one of the things that had popped out was someone had did their math and noticed that Diddy and his first baby mom's he was older, like she was 16. I think her name is Misha. I don't know her name. I don't want to get it crossed up. Right. And so now people are starting to do their age backgrounds. So what do you think the floodgates are going to be after this whole doc situation?
Second wave of Me Too movement. So they're going to come after everybody. And it's just, I don't think anybody's going to jail. I mean, you have to have have to have a plaintiff in order to have a defendant.
What you mean? Like, break that down to me a little bit more.
You have to have an accuser for the accused.
Okay. So Kells ain't going to jail.
That's the reason he didn't go to jail in the first place.
Well, they definitely
the chick said it wasn't her.
Yeah, she said it wasn't her.
And the father said it wasn't her.
And the court.
And he's still on payroll for R. Kelly to this day.
And it had been 7 years, so they couldn't say the girl looked like her.
No, they wasn't. They did it strategically. They kept postponing it so they wouldn't be looking at a 14, 15-year-old girl. So now they're looking at a 20-year-old girl.
Who physically changed.
And is a beautiful young lady to this day. So, but yeah, as a jury, your eyesight, you don't see a 14-year-old anymore. You see a grown woman now. So the sympathy kind of wears a little bit to the eyes of the juror.
And she probably physically didn't look the same.
Yeah, and she physically didn't look the same. And she's saying it's not me.
Right.
And the family and the father saying it's not her. It's not her.
What do you say to that about the fathers who are now on camera with their mothers saying they can't find their daughter?
You're a whole bitch.
Now, why do you say that? Explain that to me.
Because as a father with two daughters, I don't care what no law say. I don't care what nothing. Like, whatever. I'm strapped up coming in your door, bro.
How?
Mm-hmm. I'm strapped up coming in your door. Physically.
But let's just keep this in mind, right? Let's keep this in perspective. And
keep it in mind. I'm going to jail.
So hear me out,
I'm okay with that.
And I'm not disputing that. And I want you to, I'm trying to walk this slowly. So I'm not even trying to dispute how you might feel.
I'm going to whip my daughter's ass and your ass out to the house.
Because I don't know. So one dude was like, yo.
Well, then again, he has a bunch of security guards. And I'm sure he has an arsenal too, but it's going down.
No.
I'm going down blazing.
Hear me out. Because there's some parts that you may not have saw. So one dude said that immediately when his daughter turned 18, everything got cut off. Like her and the family, like he's like on her 18th birthday, they called to say happy birthday, and everything got cut off. Now we can talk about what was wrong for y'all to connect her with R. Kelly to begin with, because he also said too, it's important to know that they said that the label provided them for her to have a legal guardian when she's around him who's communicating with him. And I think that might have went over people's heads. So if you got the label saying, yo, we're going to have this person be the legal guardian, which is something that is normal in the business. Like, for example, Diddy was Usher's legal guardian when Usher first came out because he was underage, right? So if the label is telling you, so you thinking as a parent this is okay, even though we all know his history, what it was then, but you thinking that's okay. And then the moment she turned 18, everybody legally that you had talked to is not in communication with you no more. They said immediately on her 18th birthday, the phone was cut off, everything was cut off. So I'm saying at that point, and then she's gone, where are you going to find her when you can't find her? You got George Zimmerman walking around, and everybody know he killed Trayvon Martin, and he's walking around with no security, and he's fine. How you gonna catch R. Kelly, who got these girls staying in these buildings that he's not necessarily staying in also too? He got his mans, got him up there. So by the time you find out that she's in building A, okay? And building A, and no, I'm being serious, building A got 100 floors, got over 100 floors, right? So you going in trying to find somebody who didn't change their name. They're not even staying at their hotel under their name, okay? You got R. Kelly security that's probably guarding the girl, but then you also got the hotel security itself. You going in, who you shooting up, bro? And I'm not like disrespecting no father, because I know every father feel the same, because the mere thought of my niece getting caught up in that situation, everything I'm saying rational now is going out the window, right? So I'm understanding that when a loved one is missing, your rationale is out the window. But I'm just saying, to the people who were calling the fathers like soft or you ain't no real father, I'm saying it's not even a legal thing. How is you gonna find him when he moving like that? Because he's not walking hand in hand with these girls. He's keeping them in certain places. It's a strategic thing. It's an operation. So who are you going in and shooting? You don't know what the security guard look like. You don't know how nobody look like. Who are you going in and shooting and blasting? That's what I'm saying. So how is it, are we looking at the fathers when they put themselves or they made these mistakes? Why are we looking at them like all of a sudden it's a crime for them to still want their daughter back? I saw a lot of people online that just because these parents make a mistake, it was almost as if you think that they getting what they deserve. Even if you did make that mistake, which you did, you contributed to culturally what a lot of people were doing. You were ignoring situations that didn't affect you because you, maybe your bravado or your pride or you were looking at money, you didn't think that this situation could happen to you regardless of what it was. Because one group of parents, they said that we made sure she talked to us all the time and we were always present. But it only took one time, especially when you got like a teenage daughter who is naive. It only takes one time for somebody to slip the number. And they said when they slipped up that one time, it was downhill from there. So I'm saying in that situation, knowing all of that, how is it that we are still looking at these parents and we looking at them like, yo, there's no way that can happen. Everybody got this bravado saying it'd be me, I'll be in jail. Why are we still looking at these parents knowing that situation as if they can get caught up in that, as if they really have a choice in this matter? Like, how is it you gonna find them? This was my question. Who you shooting up? So I'm saying to you, knowing that what probably you didn't know, because I know you didn't see the entire doc, do you feel any differently? You still saying there's still no excuse?
I mean, it's still no excuse. I mean, as a parent, your relentlessness should never stop. But
there's not stopping. They're not stopping. They're still trying to find their daughter. But I'm saying, who you gonna shoot up? What information are you getting?
Every enabler I see.
Okay.
Until I get to the head.
Okay. I think people like Master P were kind of like unfair when they were talking about like, I wouldn't be on TV. If that was my daughter, I'd be in jail and I wouldn't be on TV talking about it. And my thing is, how else are the parents supposed to communicate? The daughters have probably been brainwashed to think that the parents don't love them no more. So getting on TV and getting on a documentary is the best way for them to kind of try, hopefully, to communicate to their daughter. Hopefully their daughter will see this. And you, Master P, meaning your reach and a regular everyday man's reach is totally different. I'm pretty sure P can find his daughter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
he can find Kelly.
But again, right, P can find Kelly. But again, right?
Walk right past security. I'm coming right over here. No, we gonna talk. Come here.
But again, when you look at that and what it is, right? P can find Kelly, but Kelly is smart enough not to mess with the P's daughter. If Kelly came across the Master P daughter, he probably would tell her, get out.
Mm-hmm.
So again, we're talking about someone who strategically know who he is picking.
Yeah, he goes after weak fathers.
I don't know if I can call them weak, bro.
I mean, passive fathers.
I don't know if I can call them passive. I think they were dumb. I think they made a mistake because at the end of the day, you know, this man got this reputation. I don't care how much my daughter want to be a singer. I'm not going nowhere near this man. So I do think they were dumb and they were money hungry in that. But I don't think it makes them soft because this situation happened because, again, you ain't Master P. You ain't got an army of no limit soldiers you can go and search up in the house. You up in a 100-story building. Who you find?
I'm pulling a Matthew knows. I'm in every recording session. I'm with her every time you with her.
That's real. That's real.
You ain't going nowhere.
I'm just tossing that out there.
You ain't going nowhere with my girls without me.
I'm just tossing out there because, like I said, George Zimmerman's still walking around.
I got time. Where we going? Oh, we going to get something to eat? All right, cool. We going.
I'm with you. Well, no, Matthew said they wasn't recording with him. Like, no. And the one song Destiny Child he wasn't in the studio. They just did the song, and it was on like a soundtrack or something like that. So Matthew said that wasn't going down at all. But that's a smart person.
That was a real dad.
You think about you hear a lot of stuff about God bless the dead Joe Jackson with the Jackson family, but you don't hear nothing about nobody saying somebody touched him.
No.
Because Joe Jackson was in the room.
Yeah, Joe Jackson wasn't playing. Joe Jackson was a real ninja.
Yeah, he was a real ninja though.
so was Matthew.
Yeah.
So was Matthew. He ain't playing.
Yeah.
Nobody playing. I ain't playing these games with you.
And again, I'm not talking about, and I hope you know I'm not disrespecting you as a father by saying that. So I'm not talking about, we all know they definitely made a mistake as far as even introducing them to R.Kelly to begin with. I'm only talking about after that. I didn't really like people calling them soft or saying that feeling like the parents should be punished for not seeing their kid because they made a mistake. They did make a mistake. But at the end of the day, they're parents and they want to see their kids, man.
No, I believe they should see their kids, but I still think, come on now. Like,
I'm saying as of right now, I can't call a man soft, be saying because he should be but who are you where are you going? You literally don't know where they are. You find out where they are, you go up in there, it's like, okay, you got to search over 100. What, you just going to shoot up random people? I mean, maybe. It's for your kid.
Yeah.
You're not thinking rational. It just hit me just now. I'm thinking to myself like,
am I going to shoot around here?
Yeah, I guess.
I'm going to shoot an enabler.
You're an enabler. I don't even want to think on that level.
You're protecting the problem, so yes.
That's real.
You get one too.
Even people who don't even know. I mean, I think that's the thing people ain't thinking about. So, man, I don't know what can happen from this situation. I think this situation is going to open the door to a larger part of the conversation. Shout out to Dream Hampton. I grew up, Dream Hampton is a writer from Detroit, but she also grew up in New York. She used to write for The Source and all of that. And if you watch some behind the music on your favorite legendary rapper, she was there. She's someone who's been behind this Surviving R. Kelly doc. I never met Dream Hampton. I've always loved her work. Shout out to her for bringing this to the forefront. So big ups to her because I understand that this probably took a lot of time and energy and all of that. And to a lot of people who are criticizing other gentlemen for speaking up, the few gentlemen that did speak up because they couldn't get a lot of men to speak up. To any brother who feel like he can't speak because you have to be perfect, you don't have to be perfect. All right, we all contribute directly or indirectly in some form or fashion to this issue. You don't have to be perfect to speak out about what's wrong. And just because you were wrong before, it doesn't mean that you can't speak out what's wrong that's right there before you. And maybe if we would have spoke up years ago, there would be no need for a doc. Who knows, man? So, we can try to slide that. And there's no transition to get off the R. Kelly stuff. So we're going to try to get into, some sports real quick. I wanted to ask you, the Miami Dolphins might hire a black man as a coach.
They did.
So it's official now, right?
Yeah, the linebacker coach from the Patriots.
Okay. So how you think that's going to turn out?
It's still Miami. Still Miami. I mean, it's just like, they can get Bill Walsh right now, and I don't think it's still gonna work.
Okay.
But but your boy Antonio Brown, he said it's very unlikely that he would be a Steeler coming spring training camp, and maybe even spring. He might
I didn't know, but you just now told me that he mushed or threw a ball at Ben.
Yeah, Big Ben.
Roethlisberger?
Yeah. And they said and they're preparing for a blockbuster trade among those teams. You got the mostly NFC teams. They definitely don't want. I think the only AFC team was like the Colts that was on that list. It was the 49ers, my Eagles.
We'll take them. Were we on the list?
No, the death row.
Detroit Lions, fool.
The row.
Yo, shout out to
all
those
the way
dudes.
you get out of Detroit is to retire.
Shut up, man. Shout out to those guys from Clemson, though, when they made that speech. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah. If you don't want coach
all of your videos.
taking all your shine, come to Death Valley.
Right.
Yeah, they definitely punished. They punished Alabama like Alabama has not been punished in decades.
Yeah.
International championship game. But that's real. It's real. It's real out there. You got the all the games, the playoff time.
How do you feel, and not to cut you from the playoff situation, how do you feel about the whole lack of black coaches or the fact that some of these white coaches get fired within a week and then next week they got another job?
Mike McCarthy's.
Because I haven't been, I'm not going to act like, we know what happened to watching.
Bruce Arians and those,
Well, Bruce Arians was sitting in the box for broadcasting.
The nepotism.
But there was literally certain dudes. I think one dude got hired for the Jets, right? Didn't he just get, the Jets got a new coach who just was somewhere else, right? He just got fired somewhere else, right? Am I tripping?
Yeah, and they hired a lot of college coaches, but I mean that's always been. I mean, I think now we just got one. I mean, the Miami just hired a black coach, so
we got one.
Yeah, we got one. I mean, we got one that just got hired. I mean, Marvin Lewis. I mean, but I'm more for skill and results because Marvin Lewis was a black coach.
Marvin was the one person I've ever seen who was riding on white privilege. He had 16 years of what he had.
16 years, and he didn't deserve the last 10. So, because he's never won anything. So, yeah, I mean, But that's just one. How many times did the white coaches get chances and chances and chances? Marvin Lewis may be the longest tenured coach to not win a playoff game in history.
But that still don't add up to you think about what's
he
my man?
He was living off that 2000 Ravens Super Bowl defense, that record-setting championship defense that
what
best
about my
defense
man
ever.
What about my man Lovie Smith? He still ain't got no pro. He in the college right now, but he ain't gonna never probably come back.
Yeah,
I mean, when we go.
Lovie Smith got fired after a 10-win season too.
Yeah,
by the way, but yeah. So I mean, it goes. Yeah, it's tough. It's a slippery slope. You still got Mike Tomlin, who did a great coaching job with in the midst of everything that went on in Pittsburgh this year. For them to end the season like they did, oh man, dealing with the personalities and from Le'Veon situation to Antonio. Oh man, he did a phenomenal coaching job. He should get the coach of the year.
Yeah,
in my book, Mike Tomlin should get. But I mean, it was just. I'm all for opportunities. They just fired the one coach that was in Arizona, black coach. He got fired after 1 year. I don't believe he got a fair shake. And the 1 year is not a fair shake, especially if you draft a rookie quarterback who sucks. Yep. I mean, and they talking about getting rid of him too, because the coach they just hired said back in October when he was still a college coach that if he had the first pick, he would draft Kyler Murray because he recruited Kyler Murray in high school and he's been following him since he was a sophomore in high school.
See? There you go.
So they may even trade their post number one pick and pick up Kyler Murray because they have the number one pick this year.
How the playoffs looking to you?
How the playoffs looking to me? I mean, I'm rolling with my guy St. Nick. Who did Detroit play this week?
Shut up.
Oh, my bad. I'm just saying.
Shut up.
But I'm rolling with St. Nick. The Cowboys. I think the Cowboys may end up beating the Rams, and it'd be an NFC Championship in Jerry World, which is like the worst place because I just hate it. But
I saw that clip of everybody breaking in Jerry World, man.
Yeah, I see the Eagles coming into Jerry World, and making our way to the Super Bowl. We play the Saints. We're gonna upset Who Dat Nation in the Superdome. Yes, we are. Y'all blew us out. Y'all blew us out 48-7. Yes, you did. But yeah, we got our mind right. We got our mind right. We ready to go now.
So right now it's Eagles versus who?
Eagles versus Saints, Cowboys, Rams, and in the AFC you got Colts, Chiefs, and then you got the Patriots and Chargers.
Okay.
In Foxborough.
I'm
Phillip
going
Rivers
for
is going to Foxborough where he's never won in his 16-year career.
I'm hoping for Phillip Rivers, man. I think this is their year.
I picked this.
Him and Antonio Gates deserve to at least go to the Super Bowl.
They was my sleeper pick back in like late October, early November.
Shout out to Antonio Gates, man. He's actually from my neighborhood back home in Detroit, man. Shout out to Gates.
He's from Detroit? I didn't know that.
Yeah, man. Born and raised, man. I watched him play. He actually was a basketball star.
Yeah, he was a basketball player. He didn't play. He didn't even play football in college.
Yeah, he was booming on dudes. Like he upset a high school that was like on the verge of winning a championship when it was called Cavs. He upset them. He put it on them. I mean, like he did. Not a team like he did. So I watched him play ball, man. We like from the same neighborhood and everything. I never met the brother. But yeah,
from same hood and everything.
yeah, same hood. Like he went to Central High School, which was like in my neighborhood. So yeah, shout out to him, man. But I've always rooted for him. You know what I mean? Because he's a good football player. Because I've always heard, I don't know how much. I always wanted to ask him how much truth is that he started playing football because a football friend of his dared him. You know what I mean? And he's been doing it ever since. So,
well, I heard he wasn't really going to get drafted because of the school he went to, and he just decided to try out.
Well, he had transfer school. He went to Eastern first, and then he went to another school because he wasn't really balling there. So, yeah, maybe that's what it was, man. So, you know, I've always wanted to ask how much truth that is.
Well, it worked out for the best.
It definitely worked out for the best,
Hall of
man.
Fame career. He will, whether Super Bowl or not this year, he will be a Hall of Fame. I tell you that.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
One of the best tight ends ever.
No doubt.
And the whole tight end, he helped change the whole tight end game to all they're looking at is basketball players now.
That's it.
So,
yeah, that's it. Shout out to him. He was one of the first.
From the Jimmy Grahams to the Kelseys to the Zach Ertz. Which
is there truth, from what I understand, is that small forwards in basketball make good tight ends?
Yeah, small forwards, small forwards, and not really small forwards, mostly the power forwards, because you do need a little bit of girth, but yeah, 3 to 4s.
They make good tight ends?
Make good tight ends.
Why is that?
Because you're mostly posting up, rebounding, and that's basically how you catch the ball. You use your body to shield the other defender away from the ball, and you get the ball. You go out and get the ball with your hands.
As a tight end versus a wide receiver.
As a tight end.
Okay.
I mean, you do it as a wide receiver too, but it's mostly as a tight end, using your body to shield basically like going up for a rebound.
Okay.
And that's how the quarterback's throwing the ball. Balls at a high point, picking it up, getting the rebound.
Okay. What position you played again? Because I know you play, right?
I played corner.
Okay. Oh, yeah. So you had to...
I had to defend those guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, shout out to that, man. Anything else that's supposed to be missing? Nothing?
Yeah, but I mean, just fast forward.
Okay.
Eagles won the Super Bowl, basically. That's the story.
I hope not,
we got
God, I don't want to hear your mouth.
Back.
God, I want to hear your mouth.
Back to back, baby. And if I already told my wife, look, we go back to the Super Bowl, mortgage ain't getting paid, I'm going to Atlanta.
Even if you just go back. Not win, if you just go back.
I mean, I got to be there for them to go back to back. I mean, I'm just saying they got to play the game first, but I'm just saying I'm at the game.
Oh, the Super Bowl's in Atlanta?
Yes.
Okay.
So if the Eagles are in that game, I'm going to Atlanta.
Damn, Falcons.
I'm going to Atlanta. Yeah, I'm going to Atlanta. So if the Eagles go to the Super Bowl,
mortgage ain't getting paid.
Mortgage ain't getting paid. Neither one of the houses.
Damn, Atlanta.
Neither one of the mortgages getting paid. We got 2 houses. Neither one of the mortgages getting paid because I'm taking that money right to Atlanta. I ain't giving it to the strippers, though.
You have to give it to the strippers. It's a tax write-off for a minute. No, that's Miami.
No, I ain't giving it to the strippers.
That's Miami. They don't get no tax write-off.
Strippers ain't giving me money.
Strippers. Big shout out to a legend, Grandmaster Flash. His born day was January 1st. It was also the anniversary 24 years ago, Smith & Wesson, their debut album, The Shining. And big shout out, I had to save this for last. Big shout out to the Queen, Mary J. Blige. Her birthday was this week also too, man. And Mary was looking good. Did you see those clips of Mary, man,
yes,
out there showing her best life?
Yes,
out there living her best life, boy.
Yes, I did.
Her
Mary
revenge
still
body.
Can get it. Mary still can get it.
Oh, Mary definitely can get it. Mary definitely can get it. And she was out there looking great. And I
ain't pulling out either.
I mean, it's Mary J. Blige, bro. What you talking about? Ain't nobody got no pull-out game for no Mary J. Blige. You know what I'm saying? She's gorgeous, man. But, you talking about somebody who has a long history, when we were talking about your man Kels and people saying, they don't know how to disconnect from him because his music meant something. Mary J. Blige is somebody who has been in our lives for years, and she definitely has music that we feel like meant something to us.
Yeah, if we found out Mary had a
sex
call with a whole bunch of little boys.
Oh, God, I'll be dead. I'll be dead.
Oh, man.
I also want to show some light on this for no other reason, but here's right here.
I'm on fire. I had the biggest comeback of 2018. Niggas up here talking about Tiger. Tiger? Huh? Tiger had the biggest. Man, get the out of here. I had the biggest comeback. Thought it was over with for me. After that Chris Brown shit, after that Migos, y'all tried to count me out, nigga. I ain't forgot about that.
You forgot.
I forgot. Forgot about none of that shit. So I'm back with a chip on my shoulder. I'm back. My mama.
Yo.
Maybe it's the radio. I mean, why they edit everything but shit?
I don't know, man. That was Soulja Boy. He was upset, yo. He also announced that he's not longer Soulja Boy. He's Soulja Man.
Yeah, he also just survived a very bad car crash.
Word?
Yeah,
When?
Dude, yeah, it was a California mudslide. He got caught up in. He almost died. Yeah, he almost died.
Like just recently?
Like in this past 4 or 5 days, he just survived a very scary car crash where his car got caught up in a mudslide.
Well, let me tell you, that right there was one hell of a way for my 2019 to open up. I don't know what kind of mental space I was in, but when I saw that, I laughed out loud. I mean, I literally laughed out loud. Shout out to Soulja Boy for giving me brand new life in that. I don't know if he was the man for 2018, but right now, 2019, he's my guy. I'm looking forward to some more Soulja Boy. Real quick, they announced also, too, that there's going to be official moves for Coming to America, too.
Yep, and Bad Boys 3.
Bad Boys 3. Will Smith put up some stuff in his IG about that. Which one are you looking more forward to see?
Bad Boys 3.
Me too. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie.
Guilty, but
I ain't gonna lie.
I'd rather see Bad Boys 3.
Yeah, I want to see
both. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to go see both, but I'm going to go see. If they came out on the same day, I'm going to see Bad Boys
Well, my
first.
thing with Coming to America, from my understanding, they said that the premise is supposed to be that Prince Akeem, which is Eddie Murphy, comes to America because he discovers that he has a son. And I'm trying to figure out how does that happen, because the way Coming to America ended, he got married. How is he supposed to just now finding out that he had a son? So I'm hoping you're not going to see that drastic, like the wife died and they got divorced, because that's a problem with sequels, man.
Everybody's still alive.
But see, I've been thinking all this time.
That was in the original. Everybody's still alive.
I'm just talking about the fiction. In the fiction world, I've been thinking that him and the queen been living in Zamunda for a long time. How is it that he has a long lost, you know what I'm saying, son? I don't want that image to mess up, man. I can't take it. The R.Kelly doc came out.
If anything, Arsenio would have a son. He was the one that was running.
He was the one that was getting moved. He was the one that was moving, right?
Yeah, he was the one moving around.
He was the one that was moving, man. Also wanted to give.
I forgot the 20 is. Today is the anniversary of the infamous no catch from Des Bryant and Tony Romo for the Packers when he reached out for the goal line, and if that catch happened today, it would definitely be a catch. But back then it was ruled a no catch, and I think Tony Romo he's doing like a football life or something. Like he mentioned that one catch could have changed his career, would have been the best pass, went down as one of the best passes of his career if that had been ruled a catch.
Well, actually, Romo has a couple mentioned things in his life that if he would have just succeeded at, his life would have been different. Like when
so great, he was the best player on the Eagles team. So many in the fourth quarter, he was the best player on our defense.
I mean, did we forget?
Thank you very much.
Romo's like first start of the year when he messed up, I guess the kick or something like that.
He fumbled the kick. Extra point on field goal.
He did. I mean, he has a lot of. Unfortunately, Romo has a lot of Romo moments.
Yeah, but he's great. His stats is crazy though.
He was y'all. How many men is it? What they say? 17 man.
It's 11, but he was
your 12th man. He was your 12th man.
He was the 12th man on defense in a lot of fourth quarters, man. We appreciate you a lot. He's a Hall of Fame in my book. I come back anytime. Take back over.
Do you have any friends that been affected by the government shutdown? As far as workers, people that you know that work.
Personally, I mean, yeah, I had a couple of people that been affected by it.
Right now, as you and I are talking, it is now the longest government shutdown in history. Right now, as you and I are talking right now.
Trump running it like death row. You know, give me what I want, ain't nobody working.
So right now, it's the longest government shutdown in history, and TSA workers are working.
Well, everybody's about to be affected real soon because them income taxes ain't coming out.
But TSA workers are working, not getting paid right now. So
they ain't frisking nobody.
I'm scared to get on the flight right now, period, myself.
Everybody is.
Right.
They just giving you a light. Go ahead, bro. Just go ahead, bro.
Man, my heart goes out to people who are definitely affected, because this past weekend is actually the first Friday that people are feeling it, because majority of the shutdown was during Christmas break, the holiday break. But this Friday that just passed is the Friday of people who have been affected not getting their check.
So hold on, I got a question though. So with the TSA, are they literally not getting paid, or they just have to wait on their money until the government opens back up?
Some people,
for it to be processed?
Some people have furlough. Some people are not getting any check at all.
So they have to work, and they're never going to get paid for the days that they're working.
Yeah.
Oh,
some people have to work, and they're never going to get paid. Some people have it where they're going to get paid. They're going to get paid later. But if you're someone who's working check to check, you got to think about it. Like,
even still, yeah, but it's just a simple fact.
It's still going to damage you, yeah.
It comes in a lump sum, but the fact that I'm working now and these hours just don't exist.
You can't tell your rent owner you're going to get your check like later. You know what I'm saying? Like, are they going to have sympathy for you because you work for the government? Because they got to get paid too. That's the sad part about that situation.
A lot of them are starting business like furlough cakes, furlough cupcakes. There's all these little businesses popping up because they're trying to help themselves and do a lot of things. So
it's pretty sad.
Furlough parties. I mean, people throwing parties.
Just because our president wants to have a temper tantrum. You know, just because
he's good regardless.
He's good regardless, and he's somebody that doesn't understand.
Shut down the rest of 2019, and he good.
Right. The only thing that I'm hoping for that if they're going, this government shutdown being shut down, don't fold. If you're gonna hold your own as far as Democrats, and you want this understanding that we not gonna sign for this wall situation that he's trying to fight for, then see it all the way out. Don't have all these people who are suffering be for no reason.
Yeah, don't let them just suffer for nothing.
Because it seems as if his followers, this is the only way they are understanding because it's affecting them directly. So the fact that you voted for this guy, as far as the people that voted for him, are getting affected now and starting to see what kind of individual this is. If it has to come to that, it has to come to that, man. But I would hate for all this to be for nothing because he's still going to brag about it regardless.
So if it's shut down, does his Secret Service still get shut down?
Nope. Secret Service, National Security, all that still runs. Because I know people actually work in National Security. And I was like, yo, ain't you shut down? He was like, they was like, dog, come on, National Security, we're not going nowhere. And I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense because that would suck. If National Security was to shut down for a day, we would be conquered. that would suck.
Well, I'll tell you what, he'll shut it back on real. He'll turn that switch real quick. Oh, so they can just come and get me right now?
Right.
So all this shit I've been talking, if I shut it down, they can just come walk in the White House and just come snatch my old.
Nobody wants to be Suge when he got knocked out. Like everybody wants to be Suge standing on top of the death row, the Source Award stage. Nobody wants to be Suge later on.
New York City on the corner, on the street.
No, nobody wants that Suge. Like nobody wants that, man. So, my hearts and prayers goes out to those people that are, affected. And pretty soon we're all going to be, I think we're all indirectly affected, but we're all going to be really affected because I saw a report about FDA is going to get shut down and things. You think about those people examine our food. So you got to think about situations like that that's going to affect us. But we may not be necessarily working, but they're definitely going to affect us. So our hearts and prayers definitely go out to them, man. So that's crazy. So that's crazy, man. I guess
a lot of new dope on the street.
Pretty much.
Dope prices going up.
Yeah.
Sky high.
I think we pretty much cover everything, man. Anything going on with you, man, for the rest of this week?
No, can't complain, man. Just watching this football, spinning some records.
Are you starting off working any gigs or anything like that for the new year already, or anything big that you got?
Been moving. Just opened up this new place. The grand opening of this place called the View of DC. It actually sits in Arlington and VA, but that's like right across the street from DC. But it's like 40 floors up. It's a champagne bar that you can see the whole DC. It's crazy. So we're doing a grand opening of that today. And I got this one spot called Deja Vu. Do a late happy hour, 9 a.m. to like 1, which everybody knows in DC nightlife. Nobody goes to DC clubs before 1:30 anyway. So it's called the pregame.
Oh, okay.
So we get them out early, get them in there, everybody sauced up, then they go to the real club.
Also saw that you had interviewed State Property not too long ago, right?
Yeah, definitely interviewed the whole State Property. Everybody except for Petey. Crack. He was at the mall. Getting ready for show. He was at the mall. He was in the city.
He wasn't buying crack.
No. He was he wasn't buying and he wasn't selling it. He was at the mall getting fresh for their show they had. Okay. A nice conversation. They actually talked about the night they recorded What We Do.
Oh, the song What We Do is wrong. Oh, okay. So there's a story in that.
Story in that. We actually talked about the story in that. Freeway actually broke it down. Beans put in his 2 cents for when he came in. And it was a nice story. So you can check that out on my YouTube channel. It's Impact TV. And that whole conversation is there.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you as usual. We hoping that your new year is starting off with a bang. If not, then give it time. I'm pretty sure it'll work out better than you ever expected. As usual, make sure you're checking out our podcast on SoundCloud, Podomatic. We are on iTunes, Spotify. We are on YouTube. Make sure you check us out, subscribe, and support us. You can follow me on my Twitter at J.Hall Radio. Follow this man right here at DJ Akademiks. Be blessed and successful, and we'll talk to you soon.
Snow's coming. Keep warm.